my library. I just wanted to share some thoughts on the Battlefield 1 launch and my thoughts on the game so far. I paid like $4 that was required to play 10 hours before launch, and now I bought the game. Well, that might be a spoiler for some. I really enjoy this game, that's no secret. Like, but there are some things that stood out to me with just this Battlefield game in particular, and the one thing that came up instantly was the map design. Like, holy shit, if you have ever played like FPS in the last, I would say almost like 7 years, map design is usually kinda crappy, honestly. Admittedly, it is part of the theme in this game that the battlefields feel like alive, just moving up over the battlefield. That's kind of a thing. But generally the maps feel very varied. Like, there's a lot of close quarters engagement, like the trenches, and it is a lot of long ranges as well, so it will be a combined arms game. But if you compare it to like Battlefield 4, they took large maps to way too overboard. Like, of all the Battlefield games, that's the one that I just don't. I really don't like it all that much. Like, the map design in that game are so boring, with very few exceptions. But this is by far the best Battlefield game that has been released. It has received so much polish. The Assault class, for example, aren't overpowered anymore. They don't resurrect it. They only destroy tanks and do shit. That's their job. They are the Assault class, not the Medic class. And the weapon balance as well has seen very much improvements. Like in Battlefield 4 you had like, everyone had automatic rifles, and when you count some machine guns and PDWs to that, that is still way too much automatic weapons, or at least unbalanced automatic weapons. There were way too many guns. Like, there was no uniqueness, there was nothing like, holy crap, this weapon is amazing. Because most weapons usually felt the same. And that might be a plus and a negative for some people, but to me it's just a negative. The feeling when you shoot should be great. It should feel like you're actually shooting a gun, not a BB gun. And I think they nailed that one in this game. Like, all weapons have recoil. The bolt action rifles of the sharpshooter class, they're not overpowered, but they are insanely strong. And honestly, I think it should remain like that, because that's literally the only way that you can balance the automatic rifles from the other guns, the automatic guns. I just want to say, if you actually like expect realism out of this game, throw that out of the window. Like, this is not realistic in any way. Not at all. Like, but if you like multiplayer shooters that have a sense of authenticity and like insane tempo when it comes to playing, you should really get this game. Like, multiplayer is insane. The first time I started, I got to play like the intro mission, and that is cool as fuck, honestly. Like, holy shit. I have heard that there are problems. I'm not really interested in the single player campaign all too much. And I have heard that the game itself, after the first mission, are kinda crappy when it comes to single player. And I think that's a shame, but I didn't buy it for the single player. I never did. But overall, like, the authenticity thing is, the weapons feel cool. Like, the graphics are good, but it helps set an atmosphere. Right now I'm playing on lowest settings and in full HD, and honestly it still looks fucking amazing. Like, the reason why I do this is trying to maximize frames, because I don't know, something's messed up with my GPU, like really messed up. It doesn't perform as I want it to. I will leave a complete list of specs if you watch this, so you can see what kind of hardware I'm using. And holy shit, one thing I have to talk about, most of you already know this, but the sound. Holy shit, guys, does sound like no one else. Like, if Call of Duty had half the sound of this, or any game, honestly, like any other shooter game, I would play the fuck out of it, like, just for the sound. It could look like Battlefield 1942 and sound like this, and I would be fine. I would still play that. Like, or Counter-Strike 1.6 with this sound. I would still play that. One thing that I actually want to lift up, and that's the reason why I play this class right now. I'm playing the support class, playing with the BAR, which is one of the last weapons you unlock for the support class. And this was a bit what I talked about when it comes to, like, making the weapons feel unique. Like, this is supposed to be played by the same class that has like 200 magazine light machine guns, but this one has 20 rounds per mag, and that makes it a bit like, it sticks out. I think the recoil is pretty high, but the accuracy is at the same time very high, and the recoil feels really easy to control. So, but you will get so far on longer and very short ranges. You will, like, you can't survive. The assault class has way higher fire rate than you, and sharpshooters, you can't outgun them if they know what they're doing.
50 attackers remain.
There's just no real reason to, like, challenge at those ranges. Also, one thing I have to say, if you do play support, if someone, like, sticks after you or something, throw ammo to them. Like, really, stop not doing that. Because that's the one class people don't know how to play. Like, they want to throw, like, ammo and shit, but they don't. Like, never ever, like, it's that bad. If you actually play really good and you run out of ammo, then it's like, nah, we won't help you. Medics at least are kind of like, they usually play very passive, the ones that play medics. So that helps factor in towards... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
20 attackers remain.
Alright, also, I am doing this commentary live over game I'm actually playing. So that's why I'm a bit worse at the game at the moment. And you know, this thing speech is a bit harder. But like, the feeling is amazing. Just look at this, like, and the dirt that's like get on your guns and shit. It's fantastic. This game is like watching a war movie. Yeah. One thing I also want to like talk about is actually one thing, and that is the balance in the new game mode operations. I really love that game mode. Like, it so far I've almost exclusively played it because it feels so tense. Things happen like instantly, it happens fast. It is kind of like Rush, honestly, but a bit longer. Also, the thing I wanted to talk about in the balance there is behemoths. Because usually what happens is that in some maps, the behemoth just... the ones that get the behemoth wins. Like, if I play defender and I push back the attackers, I don't feel like they should have the behemoth the second round. It will not go good at all. Like, some maps are worse than other. I can't remember the Hills map. It's between the Swiss and the Austrian armies, I think, where the airship is outright insane. Like, it's insanely hard countered, and that is kind of saddening. But those things hopefully will be fixed. Some people, like the more casual players, might think that it's balanced this way. I don't know. It's just my personal thoughts on the operations mode. But when you grab like 2 points, like DICE made one hell of a job making sure that you were high. Like playing attackers on, for example, this map, when you're in the trenches up there, and then you take the points, and then you hear this whistle, and then just looking and seeing everyone just jump out of the trenches and just plowing down from the hill. Like, that feeling, when you get that feeling, that's what makes this game. And I think in the early stages that will get a lot of people playing, but the question is how long. I know that they will drop free maps and paid maps, but at the same time I hate when they do paid maps. Honestly, like, don't do it. It's just stupid. Even though they are a company that has to like prove to EA, hey look, we made a lot of money. Like, don't split the player base up, because that kind of happened with both Battlefield 3 and 4. And was fixed ironically before the release of this game. Because, well, I guess they suspected a lot of people might move over to this game. So they released all the DLC for a time period for free. But why should it take that? Like, why didn't you just do a better sustainable thing from the beginning? Oh, and one thing. I don't know if I can do this from here. No, I can't. But they have microtransactions in this game. If you want to buy battle packs for skins, like, I'm so happy that they removed the system of attachments, because that instantly eliminated the part where, oh, you wanna have this attachment because it looks cool? Well, fuck you, you can't have it unless you pay for it. Like, that felt so shit. But now, I think they are random drops, the belt packs, I'm not entirely sure. These are just some of my first impressions. But at the same time, it's like, what the hell, honestly. I was also thinking about a lot of people feel like that the BAR is in the game. Like, that was only used very briefly at the end of the war, and honestly, I don't really see a problem with it. Like, I have some personal interest about World War I. Not as much as for World War II, but I do like that the BAR is in the game. And the Springfield rifle. And that will probably help sell some copies, honestly, because some FPS players, that I know at least, want that feeling of things that they recognize. And that's a bit what this Steam challenge is like. What the fuck is that thing? Can someone tell me what that is called in real life? Oh, I don't know. But, yeah. There were very much good things about the multiplayer, and that's what you should take this like first impressions video as. Because I haven't played enough single player. Like, the first mission seemed really good, but that's only a part of very much. And I've heard people being disappointed in it, and I'm not surprised, honestly, because the first mission sets the bar pretty high.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Like, it feels like they were trying to set the mood high, but then it seems like they just failed to deliver. I will honestly play the single player campaign, but these first days I want to play with my friends, just get in some games. I don't know how... This is the PC version, of course, but I don't know how the console versions play. But honestly, this is a game that should be played on the PC. Like, it is amazing. Oh, also one thing I wanted to talk about: performance. I don't know if that's just me, but I have been getting, like, in certain spots on certain maps, just in certain spots, I get like massive frame drops. We're talking like 10 FPS for like 2 seconds, and then it just works again at around 60. And I'm like, what the fuck is even happening right now? What the shit is this? But from what I know, I don't know if there has been any official drivers yet. I'm using an NVIDIA card, so I have also read that the AMD had problems during this 10-hour thing that you could pay for. They had a lot of problems with certain GPUs and CPUs where you got like a blue flickering shit on your screen, and that is not nice. I can tell you right now, I've had worse problems in other games, but not much, honestly. Yeah, I think that was it. And also, one thing I want to point out to everyone who might actually watch this is, please don't forget to take on your gas mask. Honestly, like, you will die. But you can stand in it for a little while before even taking any sort of damage from it, so that is one thing. Oh, one last thing that I honestly forgot to talk about is the scale. It looks amazing. Look at this. I mean, look at this. How cool isn't this shit? It simply looks so great. If you are one that has like a 1080 and a good CPU and shit, I think this will be an amazing experience for you. I'm having a blast with this game. I think I'm around 13 hours or something, and I'm not even close to getting tired of this game. Like, this is amazing, and the squad balance. Like, now you actually have an incentive to play with squads. For the first time in like 2 games, it feels like. assault isn't the overpowered class. And like, the best guns belong to the professionals, but that's what they do. They kill infantry, nothing more. They can't do jack shit otherwise. So I honestly think... Oh, and the controversial sweet spot mechanic. I can't leave that out, can I? Now, it's not especially realistic for the sweet spot mechanic, but honestly, like, it's not meant to. Like, snipers are supposed to feel powerful. In this era, if you were hit by a sniper, you drop. That was like... You can't take one to the chest and just stand up. That's impossible. So, what they tried to do was add a mechanic that makes snipers one-shot in certain ranges, certain range spans. And that makes bolt-action rifles, for example, they can't one-hit in close range. And I have seen a lot of people being like irritated by that fact. But at the same time, like, if they would one-shot in all ranges, say up to 80 meters, that would be overpowered, because you could just... The skilled players could just pick professional and play the game by themselves. So that's a compromise, I think, towards the weapon balance in the game. So that automatic weapons will have an advantage, which won't make you go quick scoping, ha 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 ha, over in close ranges with a sniper. And I think that is actually a good idea. And I wish it were in like the Battlefield 3 and 4. Because it's a good mechanic. It's not realistic, but who gives a shit, honestly. If you care about realism, you shouldn't play this game. Once again. Go play like Arma or something. If you want realism, those games are great, but yeah. I think that was it. I would like to thank you if you took your time to watch this, and I hope I see you during the coming week in Battlefield 1. Thank you for watching. Bye.